Hi dears, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me Anna with you here, and today we are in our lovely national park once again to of course discuss the latest news update in Spain and everything that is going on in our lovely Benidorm's region. Let's start with the situation first, as usual. For the last 24 hours we've only had 1,801 new cases, which is just a surprisingly low number, and even more, I can tell you, it's the lowest number since July 2020. For more than a year we did not have these great numbers as the ones that we have right now. It might be the vaccination, it might be just the time passing by. You know, a lot more people had the virus already. They become more or less immune, so it might be just that, might be a lot of different factors, but the news is that we have almost the lowest amount of cases right now since a long time, which is just the best thing that we could know for the day of today. The index right now is of 52 cases per every 100,000 people, only 2 points left, and Spain in general will be in a low risk, although more and more autonomic regions are in a low risk right now and less in a medium, which is also great news. Another change that's been happening in Spain is something that has touched already a lot of countries, and that has changed in a lot of countries. It's the third dose of the vaccine. Here, a lot of the experts were checking the information. They did not have exact opinion regarding if the third doses is actually necessary, if it's helpful, or if it's just something that does not really matter so much, So at the end they've decided that starting from October second part, more or less, towards the second half, there will be a third doses for everyone from 70 years old onwards, and there has to be a time lapse of 6 months after they receive a second doses for them to be able to receive a third one. Why this is done? Basically because there have been studies that show that people who are older than 70, their immune system is not as good as in earlier years, and it's not functioning as well, so they need the third doses just to make sure that they will not suffer any kind of severe effects or death after this virus. And this third dose, by the way, will be given together with the flu vaccine, and this kind of has to be a huge help for all the elderly population here, because if not, some of them were dying after the first or second doses because, well, their body is just not as strong as our body, for example, can be. The ones who are in their late 20s, early 30s, 40s, even 50s, 60s. But the older you get, the worse the immune system is working. So this is the case in here. For the general population, they still did not say what will be the case, if we will get the third one or if not. So we are just as we were before. The majority of people are vaccinated already, so we are all okay. But they are starting with the elderly people once again, and with children. Only children from 12 are vaccinated. They are checking if children from 5 or 6 years up until 12 can be vaccinated with Pfizer, but until there will be good proper studies done and experiments made and results given, this will not be happening just yet. In our Valencian region, the best news ever is that starting from the 9th of October, so basically in a few days already, officially we will be entering the new normality. This is the end of the second phase of desescalate here in Valencian region, which means basically that from the 9th all the restrictions will disappear. Dance floors are open, karaoke are open, the total occupancy and capacity inside of the buildings will be cancelled. So no restrictions in these terms. Only 2 restrictions will be kept in place, which is a mask inside and a social distancing. That's basically it. So nothing more will be needed. we are starting new normal lives in our region, and probably once we will start and once other regions will see the results in here, they might do the same thing in there as well. Madrid is basically doing the same already. They've said that we just want to coexist with it. We need to live. We need to get back to our lives, recover our economy. So they've decided the same thing, and they already kind of have the new normality, which we will have only in a few days. So those of you who will be coming after the 9th of October, you will see a whole different region, a whole different Benidorm, Valencian region, Alicante, Calpe, and all the towns and cities and villages that are here, because than the ones that you've seen like months ago, or maybe even last year if you traveled, because new life is coming, new past, like normal past life is coming once again, and we are very happy that it is actually happening here. This is basically what's going on. In a lot of other regions, there are still quite a few restrictions, but they're not severe ones. They're just like in terms of total capacity inside or on the terraces and etc., like opening hours. But slowly everyone are getting to the same point, which is recover our lives sooner than later. The next news that I wanted to let you know about is what's happening with the rentals. You know that here in Spain, the rental situation and buying property or renting, both of them are very, very difficult. For buying a property, if you have money for it, then that's no issue. But if you don't and you want to get a mortgage from a bank, it's almost impossible. Slightly easier right now with all the situation, but it was just impossible. Even if you had like a fixed job position, even if you were earning like enough money, but you did not have, for example, the 20% of the total price, because bank usually does not give you 100% of a mortgage payment, you could not take the house unless you had this money. And young people, they just cannot have such a big amount of money in their early age unless like your parents help you or someone else does. The same with rentals. Rentals are becoming more and more difficult, because before you could get like 1 month prepayment deposit and 1 month in advance, and you were like let inside the apartment or a house, whatever you actually rent. Right now it's not the case. For a long time already, the agencies, they ask 4 months in total. So they ask you 2 months of the deposit just in case something happens, or you break something down, or you don't pay for rent, etc. Then they ask you 1 month right now, and 1 month is the agency's commission. So 4 months in total, which is a huge amount of money. Just imagine if you have like, even if you have like apartment for 500 euros, which is very, very cheap here in Spain, in our region and in a lot of others, especially Madrid, for example, which 500 euros does not give you much at all, then it's like 2,000 euros. You just need to give it like this. Where do young people get this money from? Like, it's very, very hard. So this is why the president of our government, Pedro Sanchez, has declared that they are making the new line of help for covering partially the cost of rentals for younger people from 18 to 35 years. Still, there is no like official document about it. They've just announced that it will be happening, but we don't know exactly how it's going to work out and who will give this money, how it will be received, how all the documents need to be presented. But if someone is interested in it, let me know. I will check it, and as soon as I'll have all the information, I will let you know. As for now, they say that it's going to be a help of 250 euros maximum, which is already like considerable help, for the rent during 2 years. So from the moment that a person applies, 2 years onwards, it will be paid. Like there's going to be such a huge help for a person. And also you need to have less than 24,000 euros a year income, like a salary, to be able to ask for this type of help. If you have slightly more money, then it's considered that you are able to pay for rent by yourself and you don't need this type of help. Also, they're saying that in the annual rent like tax declaration, that we do usually in spring each year. So next spring we will do for this year, 2021. And then for those who are younger, like generation, those who have some difficulties still in getting some work and need help, they will be also deducing, like eliminating 450 euros from the obligatory tax payment. So let's say if in your annual tax return it says that you owe money for the like tax for the government, they will eliminate these 400 euros. Let's say you owe like 600 and they will take away 450. So it only means that you will need to pay 150 euros, the rest amount, which is very good help, especially now because the situation is still not good for a lot of people. There have been so many changes. Life has changed so much in these slightly less than 2 years that it's just crazy. And some people still did not recover. Some people are just starting a new job. They are just starting to pay all the debt and like snowball debt payments that they have. So they need quite some time, some of them even half of a year, maybe even more, to get on track once again, finish paying all the debt payments and just start fresh and start new. So this is a good initiative from the government. The only thing is that every time such a help comes, it takes a lot of time for everyone to coordinate their movements and to decide when, where and how to bring all the documents and who's going to do which thing, because official like departments and social security and stuff, they are not as well informed as they could be, and sometimes there is already a help approved. You come to them for that help and they say, well, we don't know how to do anything because we still did not receive any instructions. That happens. That thing happens. I'm sure it's not the only country, Spain, that has these issues, but it's the thing. It's a thing here, and we just hope that all this like bureaucracy thing, like paper thing, documents, will be solved sooner than later after all this help will be approved, because like this, a lot more people will be able to get what they need and survive in these difficult times. The next news is something very, very related to UK and is in terms of houses, like buying, selling properties. I was checking the news for you yesterday at night, and I've seen this article in one of the newspapers, which is called 20 Minutes here in Spain. You can check it online if you want to. If you need a link, I can put it for you in the comments. Just let me know. And there they actually say that retired people from UK, those who had houses and properties here in Spain, especially in 3 regions, which is Costa del Sol, which is in Malaga, Costa Blanca, which is here in Alicante, and then Canarian Islands. These are 3 places that were affected the most, and where people from UK are actually selling their properties to return back to UK. It's a very interesting and funny thing, because all people say that it was because of a Brexit, that now the situation is very difficult. People just cannot get all the documents in order because a lot more papers are being asked from the extranjería, which is like for foreigners, you know, like the ministry where you get all your Spanish papers done, residency and etc. So it's not actually like this, because I have a picture here, you can check it. It basically says and shows you that the decrease in the amount of properties that people buy from different countries has also decreased for years and years. It's not something that's been happening right now. It's something that's been here for a decade, even more or less, okay? So it's normal, but of course Brexit does not help. British people, like people from UK, they are still one of the first ones in terms of international buyers who buy properties here. They have 9.5%, followed by Germans. Germans have 9% right now. So they are very, very close already. Before, people from UK had like 13, 15 and 20%. In the best year, they've had 35% of all the property purchased here in Spain. So it's just crazy how much people were buying houses, and right now all these houses are being sold due to either Brexit problems or people just want to get back to their home, to stay with their family, the older they get. So a lot of different factors are here. Ooh, Yay, my tripod is on place, even though the wind was very strong, but my tripod did not move. So great tripod, great purchase on Amazon. So this is basically what's happening. From Morocco, also 8.3% are purchasing. So these are like top 3 countries right now. And it kind of seems, when you check all the numbers and when you see the line, it kind of seems very, very difficult situation, and it seems a major problem. But actually, as I've said, it's happening for a while already. The market is changing. The market was never the same. It was also always changing depending on the crisis in one country or the other. That country, people have more money. Maybe there they give more, like they sell the houses, they're coming here. Climate, family issues. Like there's so many factors that influence in these type of difficult decisions, like buying or selling a property here in Spain. So it's a normal thing, although Brexit, of course, does not help in that. What about the temperature today? It's very nice in here, right there at the bottom where the town is, where our little village of Albir is. And in Benidorm, it was slightly chilly on the streets. But when you go higher up in the mountain, here the climate is very different. This is why a lot of people and experts say that here in our mountain between Benidorm and Albir, we have a special microclimate that is nothing like the one that we have in the town. And it's actually very, very true. Here the temperature is always a few degrees more than it is down in the town. Not sure how this is happening. It's in the mountain, should be more wind, should be more clouds, more humidity, but everything is the opposite way, and it's actually a lot warmer in here. It's very nice, fresh air, the sun is shining. Right there I can show you. You have a blue sky with just some clouds, but not more than that. There's not going to be any rain in here. And by the way, the weather will be stable in almost all Spain in general. There'll be only high wind and waves in Andalusia, which is South Spain, and also in Catalonia, here on the Mediterranean area on the top near France. And like this, we will have the weather during all this week up until the weekend. And then there might be some rain on the north part or here on Mediterranean area, Balearic Islands, but not more than that. Perfect autumn weather is waiting for us. The temperatures are very mild, very soft in all the country, and are rising slightly up in the South Spain, and in a few days will start rising also in the north part of Spain, because the rain is over. So now the temperatures will be rising slowly but surely. North part between 15 and 22 degrees today, center between 17 and 24, south part between 24 and 32, and Mediterranean area between 24 and 28 degrees today. In Alicante, they say it will be 26. Here in our lovely Benidorm region, Benidorm, Calpe, Altea, Albir, will have approximately 28 degrees, which is just perfect for October. In Barcelona, 22, in Granada, 29, Malaga, 27, Sevilla, 32, Madrid, 22, Murcia, 28, Balearic Islands, 23, Canary in between 26 and 27, and Valencia, 25 degrees today. The water temperature is still very nice. It's 23 degrees, more or less. It's slightly lower than it was before. But they say that if it's going to be as sunny, the temperature in some of the areas will increase to 24 once again. So it's still possible to swim. It's still possible to enjoy the beach in here during your holidays. Tomorrow, by the way, temperatures will be rising on the north part and also here slightly south and Mediterranean area. These were all the news for today. I hope you enjoyed watching them. I wish you a loveliest day of today, a lot of positivity and great emotions, and we will see you tomorrow with a new special video here on the channel. Bye everyone.